We are going to understand management development today. What is management development? Management development is a part of staff training and development. So when we are taking care of the staff, we also need to take care of the management, because they are the ones who are going to work with the staff. So management development is a systematic process of training and growth by which managerial personnel gain and apply skills, knowledge, attitude and insights to manage the work in their organization effectively and efficiently. So when we are talking about managers, we are also talking about their understanding of the work, whether they know what has to be done, how it has to be done, and from whom it has to be done. So this is very important for management development. An organization should always take pride in developing their managers as much as their staff. There is a major attrition in the staff or in the manager level. Which level do you think? Basically the managers. So what happens is they learn, they move out. So it's very important to take care of their managers. So what is the need of management development? Management personnel need to be developed as they must tackle problems arising out of introduction of automation, intense market competition, growth of new markets, enlarged labor participation in management, and greater interest being taken by the public and the government in various activities of business. Business and industrial leaders are increasingly recognizing their social and the public responsibilities, which fall for a much broader outlook on the part of management. Managers have to be developed for handling problems arising out of increasing size and complexity of the organizations. Managing labor issues are becoming increasingly complex again. To understand and adjust to changes in socio-economic forces, including changes in public policy and concepts of social justice, industrial democracy, problems of ecology, maybe the smoke or pollution, the acoustics, the problem of human settlements, the ergonomics, the problem of working environment, and cultural anthropology, the problem of fitting machines to men. So these are various needs which have to be taken care, needs of management development. Why? Right? Management development is, you have to learn a specific set of skills to perform the job. That is your training. Then work across the department is work rotation. Then international, grow on professional and individual levels. Learn with the senior professions, coaching. Get orientation from accomplished professionals, mentorship. And learn must up to the date knowledge. That is your academic programs. So in total, these things develop a manager, right? So these are the things, coaching, these are very important. So what are the concepts of a management development? Why, right? So we understood what is the need. Now, what are the concepts? So management development is not a one-shot affair, but continuous throughout an executive's whole professional career. It's nothing like, yes, he has learned it today, he has to forget about it, everything, and then continue for 20 years. No, it is a continuous process. There always exists some gap between actual performance and capacity, which provides considerable opportunity for improvement, right? Like we understood, a job can be done in various ways, process. Suppose it's an Excel file, yes, it has to be in a particular manner. It's a Word file, it can be done in various ways. It is a PPT, it can be done in various ways, right? You can put in animations, you can put in colors, you can put in combinations, you can make it very beautiful, and you can make it plain also. So it is a continuous process. You have to understand it, right? Increased understanding of others, their behavior and attitude, and of oneself aids in managing and contributing to personal development. Because you are a manager, you are a people person, you have to understand what the other person is talking about, what the other person is telling you about, what the other person is not able to tell you, what the other person is wanting to tell you. So these things are required for the managers. The managers have to understand others to make the work proper and efficient. So there are certain forces which may retard the further growth, for example, the age, habits, the reduced motivation, etc. So there are various reasons, why a person, particular manager, may not be developing himself or herself. So because he has age, he has grown, maybe a particular age where he's very lethargic, he's not very healthy, maybe his habits are not very good, talking, shouting, fighting, anything, it can be anything, or reduced motivation. He's not getting properly remunerations for his work done. So that can be another reason why he has no interest in developing himself. So a development seldom takes place in a completely peaceful and relaxed atmosphere. Growth involves stress and strain. If there is some kind of a fault in a particular program or particular equipment, then you will find out how to repair it. If everything is running smooth, everybody is coming on time, everybody is going on time, the work is finishing on time, then there is no improvement required, right? Because everything is working properly. So generally it is understood that development can only take place in places where there is stress and strain. Okay, fine. This work was supposed to be completed in 5 days, but it is 10 days now. We are not yet able to complete it. So what is the cause? Let us understand. Who is the person who is responsible for it, whether it is possible for one person to complete it or not. Let us pool in with that particular person and complete the task. So then there is brainstorming happening. So when there is brainstorming happening, the work becomes easy. So that is part of development. So next time that kind of a work comes in, then the manager is already aware, no, this cannot be given to one person. It has to be finished by 2 or 3 people. So please assign this particular task to 2 to 3 people. So development requires clear-cut objectives and goals which are to be achieved or attained in the ways and methods of achieving these. You cannot cut in the line, right? Yes, fine. Okay, fine. You have to do this. What happens is you call so-and-so person, ask him to do it. No, nothing like that. You cannot have a shortcut. You cannot cut the proper process which has to be done. So objectives and goals has to be managed. You cannot change that procedure. Okay, fine, let me give some money to that particular person and let that work be done. No, that is not how it has to be done. You have to do it in the particular manner and the particular ways in which it has to be completed. Right? Participation is essential for growth. Spoon feeding seldom brings significance or lasting improvement. What is a choice, right? There is something which is a program, which is a training program which is running for the managers. But I tend to take my week off at that time, or I tend to go for a 1 week holiday. Because I think that is not in what I am supposed to do. Because I never participated in that particular program, so I am not going to learn it. So participation is essential for your growth. You have to learn it. You have to go through that training process. You have to understand the significance of it. If there is a person who is like, okay, fine, my boss is very helpful. He or she is going to make things happen for me. So that is spoon feeding. So it's very rare that spoon feeding brings in improvement because you're already getting. This is now very technically in schools and colleges, it has become a very, very important, right? Maybe for the development purposes, not for the managerial development, but for the development of the students, spoon feeding is something which the schools are not doing anymore. Most of the schools are not doing it anymore because they are saying that let the student learn, let the student go, let the student research something, read about it, and then learn it. So same ways it applies to the managers, right? A manager has to learn how to do it. Because if he or she has just been given the task from somebody else and then they are happy with it, they need not work hard. Why should I work hard? So it should come from within. So an important opportunity or a responsibility of that personnel department of that particular organization. PERSONNEL, personnel. That is when people, HR is personnel department. So personnel department has to chalk out a training schedule, a program for the development of the managers and for the development of the staff. So they are the ones who are supposed to keep a track. Okay, fine, this manager has gone through a so-and-so program, learning program, and he is showing good improvement in his work. This manager has not taken any of the sessions, so let us put him in a new session. This is very important for a management development. When we are talking about management development, objectives and the organizational climate is very important, right? All the organizations work in a different manner. Like I said, no 1 to 2 organizations are similar, because everybody has their own thoughts, everybody has their own process, everybody has their own procedures to work. To ensure the organization availability of required numbers of managers with the required skills to meet the present and the anticipated future needs of the business. This is the objective of an organization, right? How many managers you require today, how many you will require tomorrow, how many you will require a year back after. Why? Because you are going to plan ahead, right? You're going to plan to expand, then you need more managers. So that is how you have to think, to encourage managers to grow as a person and in their capacity to handle greater responsibility. See, we tend to become managers after certain years of service also. And we become managers directly after coming in from a business administration college also. So both the managers will have different viewpoints. So you have to encourage the managers to grow as persons, right? To improve the performance of the manager at all levels in the job and they hold as they hold now. It's nothing like, okay, fine, he knows how to do job A, let it be. Job B, he doesn't know properly, let it be. Let us give it to somebody else. That cannot be done. He or she has to understand all the jobs required to be done properly, and his performance has to be evaluated properly to sustain good performance of managers throughout their career. I like to say here that managers generally who are learning themselves on their own or from their organization point of view, they tend to understand the human behaviors also, and that makes them good or better managers. There is a hotel, there is a party going on. The party was supposed to end at 12:30 or 1 o'clock, banquet party, and then suddenly what happens is the guests are not going. So the party has extended till 1:30, 2 o'clock. What happens in that scenario? Generally, a hotel manager or a F&B manager or the captain, he is going home, sleeping at 12 o'clock. No, it doesn't happen. So a manager has to be the role model. The manager has to be the role model. Doesn't matter. We are working 2 hours extra, doesn't matter. Let us all work together. So that kind of a manager we are talking about. A manager has to be a very good person, helpful person. So it's not like very helpful, like you have to be very friendly with your junior staff or something like that. No, but you have to understand empathy. There should be empathy, right? According to A. Das Gupta, objectives of development of managerial personnel of various levels of management. So what are these things? Top management. What the top management is supposed to do? To improve thought processes and analytical ability in order to uncover and examine programs and take decisions in the best interest of the country and the organization. Top management, yes, that is what is required. Then only your organization, your country will become bigger. To broaden the outlook of the executive regarding his or her role, position, and responsibilities in the organization and outside. So if he is a manager in a company, he is a manager in a company outside the company also. He is seen as that manager of that particular, he's carrying the name, the reputation of that particular organization whenever he's going out of that place also. So he has to broaden the outlook of the executives regarding his or her role. To think through problems which may confront the organization now or in the future. This is one of the best skills that, or the best understanding that a manager should have. A manager is only a person who can think ahead. That is why he's the manager. A staff is working on the present job, the present work that has been assigned to him, or a person who is sitting on a desk job. But a manager has to think why, what, when, where, next, for the next sessions also. So he has to think through the problems. If it occurs, how he can resolve it. If it doesn't occur, if it is occurring in some other organization, how he can manage it, how he can translate it to the position of his organization. To understand the economic, technical, and institutional forces in order to solve business problems. To acquire knowledge about the problems of human relations. Again, so managers have to have a good human relations. So these are some of the points which A. Dasgupta has mentioned for the top managers. Now let us see the middle line management, what has been said. Middle line management, to establish a clear picture of executive functions and responsibilities, to bring about an awareness of the broad aspects of management problems, and an acquaintance with and appreciation of interdepartmental relations. Very important that you work in sync with the whole organization. Nothing like, okay, fine, I'm from the finance, I will only work when something comes in on my table, then only I'll work. No, it doesn't work like that. If there is some kind of an issue in some other section where you can help out, I'm not saying that you have to just jump out and work, okay, fine, give me. No, nothing like that. Yes, if something can be worked out, then you should always try and help. So there should be an interdepartmental relations, which is very good. To develop the ability to analyze problems and to take appropriate action. Before the problem goes to the manager, it has to be passed through the middle line management. So to develop familiarity with the managerial uses of financial accounting, business law, and business statistics. This is something which is very technical, and the middle line management should be aware of it to avoid any kind of problems in that. Suppose there is a banquet, like I mentioned, there is a liquor issue, right? The liquor can be served only till a particular time or only till a particular number. So what are the laws related to that? What are the laws which are related with liquor laws which are there in the state? So in India, the laws are also varying from state to state. So in Gujarat, it is you cannot have liquor. So in Delhi, you can have a liquor, but in a restricted manner. So all these things have to be understood by the middle line management. What is financial accounting? How it is going to help in developing? What are the debit line? What are the credit options? Where you can increase your profits? That is all you can say in accounts, right? To inculcate knowledge of human motivation and human relationship and psychology. Yes, you have to, in hotel industry, it is said that though it is labor sensitive, but still there is no 8-hour shift. So it's 9 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, right? So why this kind of a thing is still happening? Some organizations are really now changing this process because there is so much of attrition because of this. So the new generation of people who are joining in the organization, they say, no, we do not want to work more than 8 hours, more than 9 hours because of this particular amount of salary that you're giving me. Why should I work that hard? So the human relations works here. The manager will work, okay, fine, you work till so and so time and I'll give you a comp off. So that kind of a thing, that is human psychology. So yeah, okay, fine, you have your mother who is sick, fine, you take a leave today, doesn't matter. But you come so and so day and at so and so time. So that kind of an understanding should be there for the middle management to develop responsible leadership functions. So as a leader, he has to understand what has to be taken care of, right? And then the middle functions, functional executives and the specialists. What are their tasks? To increase the knowledge of business functions and operations in specific fields in marketing, production, finance, and personnel. To increase proficiency in management techniques such as work, study, inventory control, operations, research, quality control. This becomes very important for spoilage, to avoid spoilage, wastage. So if you are taking proper inventory, you have understood how to do the controlling part, inventory control, you know what is the quality that you are supposed to maintain, you are maintaining the quality control, what is the proper procedure to do it, then you will be saving a lot of your money, and that is financial independence, financial benefits. So you have to have that kind of a proficiency in your work to stimulate creative thinking in order to improve the methods and procedures. How can you do it? Stimulate the creative thinking. Okay, fine, the guest is asking for so and so, we do not have so and so, what do you do? Please, what will happen is at that time the executive will go and say, sir or ma'am, we are not providing you with this at this time, but do you require something else which we can provide you? So just to keep the situation under control. So the guest will not become agitated, the guest will not become angry. Once one guest is agitated in the restaurant, the other guest will automatically become angry. Okay, fine, they are not taking care of one guest, they will not take care of us. So that kind of a human mentality starts happening. So it's very important that you make that particular guest understand. You have to think creative how you can change it. And in food business now, it has become very important to present your food properly. So now you require creative thinking. There are so many programs which are going on in the Australian MasterChef and MasterChef, American MasterChef and all. Why? The creative plating, the plate, the food presentation. So that is all creative thinking. So you become good managers because you are learning, right? To understand the functions performed in a company. You are also a manager if you know how to perform a particular task in your company. To understand the human relations problem, yes, this is the most important as a manager, to develop the ability to analyze problems in one's area or functions. Is there any issues? Is there any problem? Okay, fine. Now, what kind of an organizational climate? Organizational climate means the circumstances, the conditions in which the management guides the development and growth of people at all levels by training, counseling, delegation, and communication. This refers to the manner in which things are managed, the way people are treated, the extent of delegation of authority, system of encouraging ideas, initiatives, and enterprise, opportunity for experimenting, testing new concepts, tools, and the techniques of projection of a company's goals, policies, and philosophy. This is organizational climate. Management development is not possible unless a favorable climate for it is created in the organization. There must be definite, comprehensive, and coordinated plan for the development of managers. It should be drawn after consultation from the people concerned and communicated to all those who have to administer and function under it. It must begin with the top so that management level may set an example. So if the organizational climate is good, if they are interested in developing their managers, then everything is possible. Everything will be favorable. These things are taking care of the goals, the policies, the philosophies of a particular organization. And this is going to encourage the delegation of authority, the system of encouraging ideas, initiatives, opportunities, right? Experimenting. There are some organizations we are fixed. This has been told by our top bosses, you have to do it accordingly. And some organizations are very flexible. They will say, okay, fine, which is the best way, do it. I want the work to be done. It doesn't matter the process, yes, but there should not be anything which is negative, right? This is very, very important. Then various methods of management development. What are the various kinds of methods which are used for the development of management? Planned progression. Under this method, the path of promotion that lies before the managers who occupies a given position is blueprinted. Path, what are the steps that a particular person has to go through to get a promotion. That is what is planned progression. Like after 3 years, you go to a next designation. After 2 years of staying in that particular position, doing so and so work, you go to the third position. After doing that, you become a manager. And there are some kind of tests also which organizes, right? So The path may be through the successive levels of organization structure within one department, or the path may also be traced through 3 or 4 departments, providing broad experience and wide opportunities. So the second is job rotation. So as the individual moves from job to job, he or she receives diversified training, right? This job requires this kind of work, this job requires this kind of job. So there is diverse way of understanding that particular topic. So this rotation can be of different types. Number one is rotation in a non-supervisory work situation, right? Here the individual is assigned to predetermined jobs within a list of departments for a given period of time to acquaint oneself with a range of activities undertaken by the firm. Rotation in observation assignments, this is the second one. Opportunities are created for individuals to observe a group of department managers and to acquaint themselves with various managerial problems and their solutions, giving them an opportunity to self themselves and to learn the type of work they would like to do. Third, rotation among the managerial training positions. Certain managerial positions are designated as training stations which are successfully occupied by the trainees. The purpose is to give actual supervisory experience in a variety of positions in several departments. Middle level rotation assistant positions. The individuals are shuffled as assistant managers in several departments to broaden their experience at a high level in each department. Unspecified rotation among managerial positions. This is aimed at giving managers responsible experience in a variety of positions. Various methods of management development, we are continuing with it. Creation of an assistant to position. Here, the superior can act effectively as the teacher and he can judge the assistant's decisions making and leadership ability. Working in this position as an individual broadens his or her viewpoints by exposure to many areas of managerial practice. Understudy. As an understudy is a person selected for one being trained to assume at a future time in a particular position. To work under a trained person would through his system be available to replace a manager during a long absence or illness, right? So this is understudy. Then coaching counseling. It involves discussion between an employee and the superior on matters which are concerning to the employee's personal hopes, fears, emotions and aspirations. So this is very important when you are coaching, you are making that person understand their personalities. Then a temporary promotion. This is again like the candidate may be moved to the next rung, the next level of managerial hierarchy and tested for his or her performance and made accountable during that period of temporary promotion. So what happens is you can check whether that person has learned that skill to learn for that particular position. So that is a temporary position. Immediately after maybe a probation or something, that person can be given the confirmed position. Committees and junior board of management. So there are composed of middle level managers selected on the basis of merit rating who meet regularly and act as ideal men. So this proposition is very, very important while we are taking care of the board of directors. Then is a syndicate. Under this method, a term of persons of mature judgment and proven ability is set up with different functional representations. To that, there is an exchange of ideas and experiences. Okay, incident process. It is a variant of a case discussion. Here, only a brief description of an incident is given and the participants have to determine what other relevant information they can be used with. So whereas there are some other management development tools which are there. So there's the sensitive training members. Okay, sensitive training is members are brought together in an open environment in which participants discuss themselves and their interactive process. So the discussion is lightly directed by an expert who creates the opportunity for participants to express their ideas, beliefs, and attitudes. Objectives of this is to provide managers with increased awareness of their own behavior of how others perceive them, greater sensitivity to the behavior of others, and increased understanding of group processes. Specifically, it aims at increased ability to empathize with others, improved listening skills. So you can say this is a kind of a group discussion sort of a thing, where you have to talk about yourself also, what about the topic also, and you have to make sure that your points are heard, whether you are being heard or not, whether they are understanding what you are saying or not. So it is like listening skills, greater openness, increased tolerance for differences, and improved conflict resolution skills. Management or business games. So these are classroom simulation exercises in which a team of individuals compete with each other in order to achieve a given objective. An atmosphere is created in which the participants play a dynamic role and enrich skills through improved involvement and simulated experience. Usually several teams are formed which represent competing units. Teams take decisions on specific matters for each. Based on these decisions, the position of each company and the industry as a whole is given by the umpire, and then the decisions are taken. Some more are there in the management development is in-basket exercises. This is a variant of the simulation. In trainees is provided with a basket and a variety of immediate problems in his or her in-basket. His or her reaction and decision becomes the basis for evaluation of the discussion. Then is your transactional analysis, that is TA. In this practice, it's assumed that people have three basic traits of being a parent, being a child, and being an adult. So all the three things are considered that are present in a person. So the adult behaves in a different manner, and the child behaves in a different manner. The parent behaves in a different manner, and that is how it is being tested. So adult trait will conduct a transaction with thought and of mutual with the transactional analysis can lead to modified behavior by providing personal insights. So we can just sum up whatever we have learned in our module of staff training and development. So this unit have helped us to understand why it is necessary to train employees for their jobs and old employees for the new jobs assigned to them. The second that the unit is telling is it has helped to understand how to set up suitable training programs and execute them so that their objectives are achieved. And it has also, third is that it has told us that the training and development are two different aspects and need to be handled as different entities. Yes, that we have understood. The training and development are both essential but are different. So both are learning the same thing in a different manner, levels. Why is it necessary to develop managers in an organization, and how this can be done successfully by training and development was also focused in this unit. Thank you.